Hello, everyone, and welcome. It's Thursday. We're going to jump into an Arena Cube draft. I've been mixing it up in exactly how we are doing it. Yesterday, we did it on mtgadraft.herokuapp.com, which is a place where you can go and effectively draft on a third-party website for free, just for wild cards. Make sure you have the cards in your collection. Then you can export your decks to Arena and play them there against people you know. In this case, we're going to use the in-game system of draft and draft against randos and play against randos in this new iteration of the Arena Cube. I'm enjoying it so far. Played it a couple of times. It's got some really baseline aggro strategies that are powerful, but it's also got some deep five-color nonsense strategies that are powerful, so it scratches a lot of itches and does that all these cards are powerful thing, and you get to find your desired strategy and push it to the limit and see how far you can take it. If you decide your strategy is incredible and you want to build that deck in paper somehow, like, oh, this happens sometimes. You know, you play a cube and you're like, oh, this would make a sweet historic deck. And then you go and get the parts at my sponsor, cardkingdom.com. They're going to help you out with everything you need for your tabletop Magic game, whether it's the singles for your converted cube deck into Historic Crusher or some sealed product to run a draft at your house. You got the world is going to unlock soon. I think we're all kind of feeling it. Everybody should, hunker down, be patient, and be safe right now so that you can make it to inoculation without receiving or transmitting any more COVID. That would be great. That's my dream. But once we're all fairly heavily inoculated, it's going to be physical Magic time in stores again and stuff. So, oh man, 6 months feels soon to me when the alternative was, who knows? The alternative is forever. I just, having any mark in the sand saying, like, we're doing it, the inoculations have begun is just so exciting. And anyway, I'm getting off message, but the point is, with the world going to reemerge in 2021, start thinking about your Magic needs and what you're going to be taking to the shop and what stuff you're going to want to return to the action at your LGS. And in doing so, check out my favorite LGS, cardkingdom.com, and do it from my affiliate link if you would. That's in the panels or the YouTube episode, video notes or in chat. And then they know you got there from here, and it helps keep me on the air. Someone else helping keep me on the air is Oni Spumoni, our friend Oni, and his business Spumoni Works. I struggled with trying to reset the banner for Oni before, so I don't have a banner today. I'll get that back tomorrow. But the main thing is spumoniworks.com and Go Shopping as the discount code. If you use the Go Shopping discount code, you get 15% off your purchase, and you let Oni know that I sent you, and then he gives me some design time in return. I'm actually bartering with Oni for helping raise awareness and spread the word about his sweet merch in exchange for getting his significant design talents pointed at my stream channel and everything. So help us both out and check out all the sweet stuff at Spumoni Works. Thank you, Oni. Now let's jump in here. I'm going to get into draft mode, and looks like we got another gold entry here. This is Cube Traditional. And we are, of course, 0-0 right now. Hope everybody comes out of it okay, Math. All right. Caffeinating up. Haven't had much coffee yet today. Maybe that's why I'm dragging. I'm feeling a little bit low energy today, if I'm honest. I don't think I got good sleep last night. Oh, was there a... Oh, sorry. I'm going to just reject it. I missed the blah, but I'm not in the right screen for it. And here we are drafting, so, you know, I caught up. All right. Good AMA hat. I have to consider some of those details, but all right, what do we like here? Torbrand is a heck of a place to start if you want to go mono red. This is a mono red payoff to an extent, so is Siege Gang. Feldar Retreat is pretty darn powerful, especially in go wide mono white. And I kind of like both of those. Those are two interesting things to consider. Aurelia might even come around and you could do both, but if you go mono red, we can draft twice. Well, it looks like it would be Fun Police either way with this choice. Is there any other choice even in here? I like Maze Mind as a control-ish generic opener. You could be on Maze Mind and see which control direction to head. Only got 34 seconds. Let's see. Poll 15, Tor or Retreat. Go. I'll go with whatever chat says. I think these are both two appealing places to start with similar approaches to how to win. And I'm cool with chat's choice. Chat says retreat, let's do it. Well, Elspeth, right after retreat, doesn't stink in terms of making tokens to get counters. That's a nice combo. What else we got here? We've got Heliod's Intervention. That seems like a life gain life gain enabler that we're not into. Niv Mizzet is another direction to go here. We would abandon the, well, maybe not abandon, but yeah, probably. Like Niv Mizzet is nonsense. Is the nonsense deck. We could try it. It's the opposite of this deck. What else we got going here? Haj says Niv is a trap. Yeah, if Apparition comes around, I mean, my first instinct is just, I mean, this is a great card, and this goes really well with it. We should probably just do that. This is cute. This is powerful. This is interesting. Yeah, I think Niv Mizzet is a legit card. You just have to seriously build around it. Yeah, we like the retreat. This is a great follow-up to the retreat. I'm gonna do that. And Archon, I was talking about, I passed this before. One of my issue with the Archon is that there are spots where you just feel like you can't even cast this card because it helps your opponent more than it helps you. If we take it this early, we can really make sure that's not the case. Oh yeah, Hostage Taker is here. That's a powerful card. It doesn't match our white. For Chandra is pretty good. Approach is a powerful effect, but not really what we're doing here. Cheese wants Approach. I don't know. Yeah, I don't want to feel like I'm marrying my first picks, but also I just, like, with Cube, everything is so powerful, it's hard for me to be like, well, I'm going to move to this other powerful thing off of the powerful stuff I already have. Johnny is interesting because it goes with, it really goes with this, but I'm going to take the Archon. It keeps us possibly mono white or open to what our second color here is. Castle is further support of mono white if we want to cut it. Tajik is Boros. I really feel like, historically speaking, not in terms of format, but just in terms of time, in my personal experience, mono white and mono red are each significantly better in Cube than Boros. And so, yeah, I'm going to take the castle. Now we get an integrity. maybe you have to start leaning Boros. The Boros stuff is just smacking us in the face, and if Aurelia wheels, we kind of really should be there. There's Glorybound Initiate, which also does this. Oh, start to yeah, sorry, this got a little distracted. This works too. This makes some tokens to work with the retreat. Yeah, let's look at Curve. We don't have any early stuff. Need is it's tough to say you need anything at your 5th pick of the entire draft, but it's a great point that this is a good 2, and we don't have anything cheap yet. All right, sure. Selfless Savior. The wow, the Boros continues to be tempting. Feather is a little more interesting. At least it's heavy white, light red. Royal Eruption is nice. Idol, you know, could potentially get some stuff back. I think if we dip into red, I like Hat's pick of the Royal Eruption, but as long as there's continuing options to support the lower down, go wide aggro, I'm just going to do that. So I'm taking that. Zeal. It's really kind of surprised to see this here. You don't often see combat tricks in Cube, but maybe they just ran out of interactions. Are we ever really lithoforming here? This is where we should play towards a possible second color and take Act or... oh, really? It's there for Feather? Well, I'll take Zeal. Maybe we wheel Feather or something. We can take this, too, in case we get the... yeah, Embrace or... Embrace in case we do black is fine. This would be fine on a lot of our stuff. I'll take Zeal in case... well, yeah, Ox on Spec, sure. I guess if this is a red card, effectively, let's take the Ox. I'm kind of hopping around here, but we'll find our way. We'll find our way. This is okay. If we end up light red, like, I don't think we're playing the Ox. White is drying up, but it's pack 1, pick 8. You don't know what that means exactly here. Let's see what we wheel. Yeah, that's what I think, Hodge. I kind of snapped it up at the last second, being a little bit indecisive about that last pack. Enclave, it doesn't feel like the deck for Enclave. We might get to 4 power, but it's not the plan, so I'm not going to take it. You could spec on Bo3. Wow, we voted on whether to take Torbran or Felidar Retreat first. So that's kind of rough. Nothing else here, though. Unless we're, you know... Are we missing a lane? It's tough to say what lane you're missing. I mean, yes, there may be some black stuff going around, but everything is so good. I have a hard time reading tables in Cube in terms of identifying really what's open. But when you see, you know, it's when, I don't know, when Torbran comes around 9th, you know that mono red is open. And Force Mirror could go into anything. I'm gonna take Mirror. Oh, I tried to take Mirror. I was gonna switch to Mirror. I feel like it goes into anything. Courier. We can just start taking red cards. Try to be mono red. Let's see if we can pivot to mono red. Blast Zone. Saheeli could conceivably be mono red, but I don't see this. I don't see us really doing this. We don't have a lot of artifacts going on. Oh, look, the start came back. All right, we'll take the start then over the weaponize. No, that's the thing. We don't have a lot of red going on. This was just because we found Torbrand. When I said pivot to mono red, it wasn't serious that we were going to do that. Feather came around, but Aurelia and Tajik did not. So keep that in mind. I got a lot of options for mono white here. No, I think landing is doing our thing. So does Oketra's Monument, but I bet we wheel that. Skyclave Shade, that's really exciting to you. I mean, why are we screaming about black cards? I know that the black has been open, and if you had been taking black cards, continuing to do so is probably a good thing, but we are not black. Why are we screaming about shade? Here, does that help? This gives me hope to continue on the white path. This is a lousy second pack, though. We got 2 white cards here, and they're neither doing exactly what we want, but Lyra can go in about anything and be all right. Pathway, am I missing path? Helm is interesting. Oh yeah, Pathway for fixing. Yeah. I don't know if we're red. I don't even know if we're 2-color yet. Yeah, I'm just going to take the white card. Yeah, this is a pretty weak pack for us also. There's an Ancestral Blade. There's a Bag of Holding. Bag of Holding, maybe not the worst for a deck to try and get some stuff, get a little extra card action. Jinx wants Stage on the thought that we might still be red. I'm thinking we're probably not going to be red here. Oh, is Key in here too? Yeah, Key is... We could just take Key to the city. That's a good point. What am I doing, though? Key to the city. I'll take Key here and wheel the blade. Or maybe we'll wheel the bag, but I like Key there. This is an aggro deck. Let's get the Key going. Foundry is not over much other than this Ministrant. This would allow us to hedge. I'm cool taking this land here on the hedge to add a touch of white or red if we want to. Cost being the Ministrant. Low cost to spec on the land. Elspeth Conquers Death for the mono-white control-ish element. Heroic Reinforcements is kind of doing the thing. So with the Sacred Foundry and this being a reasonable splash, I think we take the Reinforcements. Goes with the Retreat, etc. Yeah, Elspeth is great. It's not necessarily what we're doing, but I would play it. If it weren't for the really on point reinforcements, we would have taken that. Rob, are you just citing the cards that you would have taken because you're trying to show me the white-black deck I could have had? Because you're not helping. You're not helping suggesting black cards. Well, stop suggesting black cards. Please join us in the draft we're actually in instead of the draft in your head. Or keep the draft in your head in your head. It's not helping. If you keep naming black cards, I absolutely will. I guess we might play this. All right, we're back with our wheel pick. These are okay, but what's the one we really wanted to wheel? And do we take the 1 or the 2? Fledgling. Fledgling, if we were thicker at 2, I'd take the aspirant. But we actually have some 1s, and we don't have much in the 2 sitch at all. This is only pack 2. I feel pretty decent about this. Maybe we take an ether hub. It's not ideal splashing. We're not going to take captivating crew, though, right? I don't think crew is actually good, but maybe I'm underrating it. None of this is good for us. Haj likes the crew. Maybe it's also because I just don't want to play that much red here. Like, I think that's significantly part of it. Like, we're not playing this. Probably not. Maybe we're playing that because it's so late. Feather's not doing anything. Skewer might be splashed. Might. But really, like, that's just a maybe. Like, these are the only cards that I actually want to play in red right now. So picking up a random mid-range red 4-drop just didn't seem correct to me. Hazoret, Hazoret is a great red aggro top end, but we just want to aspirant. Aspirant is fantastic. One of the winningest cards in Zendikar. I mean, this is Cube, not Zendikar, but just saying. Any other thing pulling me at all over Aspirant? I mean, besides Hazoret, you know, there's good red, but yeah, this is the right pick for this deck. Mikaeus, also great for what we're up to. Clifftop Retreat would be nice on the fixing, but I like Elseid is also good, but Mikaeus just is at any point in the curve and does the thing we're doing, going wide and pumping team. Thalia, pretty good for us, I think. We are mostly just doing the creature thing. We're not 100% creature. We got Key to the City, but early, and Legion's Landing would be hurt by, you know, but mostly early on, we're doing the creature thing. And it's very disruptive to decks who are trying to do big stuff with spells. Animation module does the counter thing. Treasure map. Stonecoil Serpent, though, just fits any point. Oh, we got Vanguard. Oh, we got to take Vanguard. I just didn't see this for a second. Vanguard is the clear pick. I do like Stonecoil, but this is one of those... you know, if you have the -X style removal, this can be dealt with. But there are a lot of decks that just have real issues ever taking this off the table. I love this Chandra, but not for us. We're going to take this Shelter and be happy there's still a white card here for us. There's an Icy that we might play if it were free, but... Srans, we like this in our deck. The go wides. Fight is 1. Is this more feather plants? I mean, if so, we could take it and run feather. Yeah, SRAM's better. I just was just trying to figure out if that's what was going on. Seems like there's a lot of combat tricks in the cube that are about feather. God's Willing being one of them. This is interaction, though. We could destroy big stuff. But I'm going to stick to... I like the God's... Like, I want some interaction, but this interaction isn't good enough. I'm not going to take this just because... it represents interaction. I agree. Fantasia says they love Stance. I'm not saying it's a bad card. I'm just saying it was a tough call between those two. We got nothing here. never running any of this. I mean, we'll take lava. Oh, sure, whatever. I'll take a lava mancer. It doesn't matter. We're never running it. Hazaret comes back. I don't think we're running that either, but Retreat did come back. That's nice. Kind of needed that if we're gonna do some red here. We're not a Field of the Dead deck at all. None of these matter, but yeah, I'll take Field of the Dead. Other people in the draft. If anybody needed that card, they would have taken it. So we'll take it, and other people are going to have good stuff. I don't think this is a module deck, but we'll take a look. Hodge thinks we should play Hazaret. Maybe. I was going to look at... I haven't read Hazaret in a while. I think I need to actually read a card. Yeah, that's one good question. Is this deck even aggro enough for a card like that? This is a 3 deck building here. So, Hazaret. Indestructible haste, can't attack unless you have one or fewer cards in hand. That's my big question. Like, if we play Hazaret, we got to cut the Archon, right? I don't know if we're playing start. It makes... Yeah, I guess we're not. You don't want to play that unless you're doing the black half. So I don't think you can do Hazaret and Harmonious Archon, and maybe even like Lyra and Hazaret is a bit of a non-bow. I feel that way too, David. That's what I was saying even when I took it, but it did feel like at the time that it at least mapped to the strategy we're looking at. So we could do that and try that. We've got a shelter over in our land section. Can manage to cut that. So we're actually short on playables. We need to like bring in Feather and bring in Skewer. And let's read this animation module. Maybe get some extra land. Frostodon and Lyra are a non-bow. I get it, Tron, but we also, like, what do we... we ended up where we are. I was down on Ox as red. I'm just trying to avoid red. If we have to run red, okay. But the ideal here is that we are 70, our mana is heavy white with a touch of red. And the minute we go Ox, we start needing to be a lot more even in our mana. Yeah, let's look at this. I guess we're doing, maybe we're doing enough +1 for the animation module. Yeah, between the Retreat, didn't we have other +1 stuff going on too? Retreat and Mikaeus, right? Why not Field of the Dead? It literally does nothing, right? Like, wait, let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yeah, I mean, if we played all of our, but that seems loose as heck. In fact, we got to cut some of these. Probably not doing Bastion or Labyrinth. Bastion has some play here, but with our low interaction, maybe we want Bastion over Blast Zone with the Felidar Retreat, or not, or none of it. If we're gonna splash red, we just cut that and really make sure that our mana is good. Yeah, I got there, Haj. We could do Hub. Do you like Hub as a one-shot fixer? I don't know if Hub counts as good fixing or not. Let me know what you think about Hub. It is still a way to get red mana and white mana out of the same land. It just only happens once, unless we're doing other things with energy. Probably if we were doing more with energy, it'd be worth it, but I think the one shot is not worth it, so let's cut that too. Rob says Hub is fine. Others are on the not quite worth it. I'm with you all. I think it's pretty close, but Now let's go back to getting the land right here, though, so I know how much we have to do. 9, 10, 11. This is 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. How much red do we need? Because this is now... Yeah, it's fine to not like feather at all here. What would you like to play instead? That's it. I mean, we can. I might need to bring in the Archon just to fill it out, but Archon Hazaret seems like the worst non-bow we're putting together here. You get why I don't want to do Ox, though, right? That it becomes the first and only 2 double red spell in our deck. Bomat Courier. No, I like Bomat Courier because it doesn't need red until later. You just run this non-bow and see how it goes. This is how much land. This kind of counts as land in a way, but not fully. Oh, this land's over here. So 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. I think I want another land in anyway. And that gives us 6 sources of red, which is a number I'm comfortable with if we're not playing the Ox. I'm with you, David. I don't like this deck. Yeah, we could start to finish and bring the hub. That's oh, well, this is it's not a great move, but we are in a tough spot with the deck. Oh, the animation module is another real consideration, though. And then I could take out that Archon again. And then maybe I could go drop back down on the land count. You want to drop Archon and module, or you want to play the module? I kind of want to try the module. That's true. Module makes more energy too. Does it? Wait, no, it doesn't. Oh, right, it does if I have not spent, if I have the energy. Yes, I see what you mean now, Rob. Yeah, I agree, Lotus. I don't know how... this deck is sketchy as heck. Kind of didn't break quite the way we wanted. Looking back, if I could just go back and take red cards and know that we were going to wheel the Torbrand, we'd have a pretty sicko mono red. Although we don't have that critical Ember Cleave. What are we calling this deck? This is light as a feather. In terms of its quality. How good's your deck? Light as a feather. This is definitely better in lower curve decks, but I'm still going to run it. It's pretty amazing on the play opening turn. If you can crack in with this 2-3 times and then sit back and wait to cash it in for cards, it's quite excellent. Now, I acknowledge that's best case scenario, and I'm not suggesting that's happening every time, but it fills out our low curve, and it really does do a lot, especially also if you can start key to the citying it and really putting the cards on it. So yeah, I'm going to keep all that. I'm going to try this. This build might not be perfect. We can come back and revisit later, but I want to get going. Now let's see if there's any bling. There is. Lotus sleeves from Mama. It steals our cards and then they blow us out. I don't know what you mean. Jinx, to worry about cards going underneath Bomat Courier is like worrying about being milled. It doesn't matter unless you're out of cards. Mama loves to remind me of my 1-in-6 finish in the gauntlet. That is the reason we have those particular sleeves. All right. Well, good chats, everybody. Love the discussion. Drafting is hard in general. Cube drafting.
It was worse than dead.
Well, that's a bad omen to have that to have that meme be stuck. Have a little faith, Kirk. Yeah, it's a good call out, Haj. And that's why I'm running non-bows. You try not to run non-bows. They're not ideal, but you don't have to like avoid them like the plague. You just have to understand that about your deck. Yeah, I'm not sure, Mabinap. I like it's. I don't know. It's a tough one. No, you just loot its corpse when it dies. Oppo goes first, but I got a Courier in the opener. We get to try that out. Courier into Luminarch Aspirant seems fantastic. Although it might go Fledgling. No, we can go Aspirant, then Fledgling, play third land. I think I'll do that. I could take some pain and do the Foundry first. What's our most intensive white card? Do we have white cards that are like triple green or anything like that? Or triple white? Feather still gets there with Mountain into Foundry into Ardendale, though. Just making sure that starting on Mountain wasn't a mistake. Like if we had, for example, the, I know we don't have it, but Banalish Marshal, right? The white spell or something like that. Or yeah, that's the other thing. A 2-drop white would be the other thing, says Mabinap, calling out Daxos. It would be a reason to play Sacred Foundry. Savior is interesting. We're going to play the... Well, we can play the Clifftop Retreat. That comes in untapped. And then don't have to take pain yet. You'd go Fledgling first. You can make a case for either. I like getting the Courier big, though. It helps it continue to attack. Fledgling and Aspirant both want to go early, but the thing is, we can play Fledgling this turn, and it still has the same number of counters. We haven't, by waiting, and we get the Savior, so this is actually a great little turn. Oh, thank you. I restarted last night, so got to restart CBL. Since I eventually want to sack this, I'm actually going to put it on the aspirant itself. I get it, Jinx, but I have the aspirant, but that's not necessarily. But you understand? I don't think you're taking into account that the aspirant we got more going on the courier. Have you calculated the courier aspirant on a courier? Anyway, that gets undone. Well, if they're going thirst, that's going to be good for us. Only question is, we just go reinforcements next turn, or courier first. Let's see what we draw. That's going to decide. Probably just going heroic reinforcements next, and then unless we draw something. Yeah, those cards are gone forever, but it doesn't matter. Yeah, we should heroic while they're tapped out, right? Why not castle? Why castle? It doesn't matter. We're using all our mana on not castle. All right. What are they even doing? Looks like blue, white, lay claim, long, looks like kind of long. Oh, Esper control, Field of the Dead suggests a lot of dual lands. But basically Esper control, so we're just trying to get under them. And here we are looking at our sideboard, which really has nothing for, like, we're just struggling for playables in this deck. Some of the alternatives to the build we considered were running start finish with the Ether Hub to give us a chance at the finish. Harmonious Archon is certainly playable, but a little bit non-bowish with Hazaret and others. We're talking about how non-bows shouldn't be the dictating factor, but it's really annoying to have Hazaret out and have some uncastable Archon in your hand. So I'm kind of inclined to run this back. I think we want to get smaller, tighter, faster against control than necessarily going over the top Archon. So let's run it back. That's a good point. It's not. Hazaret says you can, if it's a non-bow, you can chuck the non-bow at their face instead of casting it. That's a fair point. It really does help solve that situation. Now, I was deciding whether we were going to keep this. Then I saw the Sajiri Shelter, and it made it pretty much no-brainer to keep it, especially with Thalia. So if we don't find a land, we're going to go Shelter on 1, and then Thalia on 2, and then Aspirant starting to pump Thalia. If we find a land, we might consider Animation Module. Like, so, you know, that's interesting, because we can go, now we do have Animation Module, and it starts working, you know? Yeah, I'm going to do that, since we drew the land. Because now, even if we have to play Shelter as our third land tapped on 3, we still have Module into Thalia into Aspirant. This is going to be helpful for Oppo on Molda 5, getting a Scry 2 here. You're going to help them recover. They went 2 to the top, so maybe they can pull back here. But this is going to be brutal. Oh yeah, we're going to do Thalia. That was always the plan. Thalia here. 3 mana Mind Stones. Sure. All right, this is land this time. And I like Luminarch. Well, we could go Glory Bound and start putting aspirant counters on the Glory Bound. That's not the worst idea either. Yeah, let's do that. Haj wants aspirant. Maybe we should take a moment to figure out aspirant sequencing. Maybe I'm missing a good heuristic that helps figure that out, like what's ideal. Often it feels super close and doesn't even necessarily matter. But sometimes it feels very important. But check that out. Go, Thalia, go. 2 mana ops for Opto. Calculating damage is for chat. I just make the mistakes and let them talk about it. If we make a creature, we go shields down on God's Willing. I don't think we want to go shields down on God's Willing with this crew out. So I'm going to deny. I'm going to decline and be really conservative about holding up defense. And I don't want to exert since we've got clean attacks. Yeah, the Dream Police is a good one. It's kind of the fun police, right? Here's my dream, and here's the opponent that's going to make it not happen. Ah! Good job, Hat. Well, anything to do about it? Not really. Well, recovery plan. Am I supposed to play around board? Maybe I was supposed to think about and play around, but I don't know. I didn't feel like we had many options. Yeah, that was the correct one. All right. Indestructible haste. 1 or fewer. Okay, we can do it. So we can go Hazaret. Oh, no, we can't. I was thinking it was 3. Hazaret's 4. Oh wait, was this? Oh yeah, discard a card. Oh, we can. Nice. Good call. So we pitch God's Willing or Intervention. Intervention is like, what does this hit? Target creature or planeswalker and tokens that can end the game. I guess Intervention. You'd pitch the Willing? This produces 3 damage via attackers. Oh, yeah. Create an X1. Oh, I see. It's an X1. So it's big, though. It's big. It's one big thing. Okay. Yeah, it's a good point. God's Willing isn't saving much. Hazaret's indestructible, and these are fodder. All right, I'm convinced. Yeah, some exile effect, but I think that's the right choice. And then we still at least have attack for 3. Yeah, that's pretty good. But let's see. Whenever you take 2, draw a card. Okay, they're dead. Sure. All right. Notched 1 win with this medium. I didn't do a rare poll, but a par poll, but nobody thought this deck was amazing. But it's got good cards in it, like all cube decks do. I mean, it's funny. I've never cast the red intervention for a creature, for a token. I've only ever used the red intervention to deal damage. So I had to read that. On the play, looks fine. Although right now, Expertise isn't playing anything for free, but we'll keep and go. Well, part of the key, Robert, was saying, like, we can't protect anything for a turn. If they have the exile effect for Hazaret, if they're going to use it, and it doesn't matter that we kept the Gods Willing. And if we keep the Gods Willing, we are protecting against the case of them drawing it afterwards, drawing specifically exile effects afterwards, which is also certainly possible, but felt like if we're worried about Hazaret dying, we should keep the red card. We can go Vanguard. And that attacks for 3. So does Glorybound Initiate. And if they're mono red, if this connects even once with Lifelink, that's pretty good. But it almost makes me want to start with the Vanguard to see what they've got. See if they destroy this or try. Trouble is they might not even bother because it's got the Indestructible. I guess I'll go with Glorybound. I don't know if there's if anybody... You know, Vanguard is not... This is going to get +2/+2, and Vanguard is not going to be able to block it. So unless we're not going to trade 4 life to prevent 2. So this wasn't actually a blocker for this, whereas Vanguard Initiate is. Like, we can block the Hellhound if we want. So, yeah, we could be a little bit more aggressive. Should we be... So we could throw a block there. I don't know if any deck wants Hellhounds. There's, like, I'm going to say no blocks. Yeah, with a lifelinker, with a 4/4 lifelinker, we should race. And also... They might be... We don't know how many lands they have. This thing could end up being stuck as an 0/1. All right, well, that answered that. Flooding a bit here. But looks like Oppo is out of land, so maybe our Screw beats Flood in general. So we need some action here. What I'd love is a card to cast for free with SRAM's Expertise. Yeah, Castle is nice to have here in the Flood situation too. That's a good call. But come on, deck. Something sweet under 4 mana that's not a land. Oh, deck. That's the opposite. Dang.
Oh, here comes the flood.
Well, I guess we attack and play Expertise for no value and then start castling. Not much else to do. We're going to snap these off. I wonder if Oppo is so desperate for lands they're willing to courier away these 3 for 1. I doubt it, but blocking away. That is enough, deck. That is enough.
We will say goodbye to flesh and blood.
As we all know, that is Hat's fault that we are extra flooding because he made a 2-part flood meme, and so the magic gods always want to see part 2. No, we're on 8 lands to 3 right now. Oh, I'm gonna remember. Don't worry, I'm remembering. Oh, this is the one that can block, but it must attack, so Oppo could put that in front. But there we go. That's what we're gonna play. Which side of Elspeth are we gonna use? 2 creatures get +2/+1, or create 2 tokens. 2 creatures getting +2/+1. Vanguard becomes a 5/2, but that still trades with the Hound. So yeah, we're gonna make 2 tokens, and I'll trade life to take out the Hound, and I trade these for the Hound too. So we're gonna play Elspeth post combat after we swing away. No, the Hound does block. That was what I was working out, Jinx. You're thinking of the same thing me. There's the black escape card that doesn't block. This is the one that blocks, but because it is forced to attack every turn, effectively can't block shortly after. Yeah, there's the black one in the same format that you're thinking of.
The tragedy of my death has only spoken. If you are going to fight, fight beside me.
You like holding Vanguard back? I guess if they have removal, Elspeth could be threatened. But I think we push him to make him have it. Yeah, I don't like holding back. I think we got to swing. Yeah, if they spend time getting rid of Elspeth, we'll get her back eventually. We don't have the tools maybe right now for others, but we would eventually. Yeah, I should have held. I even said I'll play Elspeth after attacks, and then I didn't. But oops. Aspirant. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Oh, we even get Aspirant plus Ardenvale. That's cool. Are we plussing here? Let's see. 4/4. If we make Vanguard +2, it attacks through Mechagodzilla. Yeah, let's do. Although, actually, yeah, we don't even need to. I can make more tokens. We can just make this 4 with the Aspirant. But I'll start with the Vanguard attack. Trouble with growing a token and attacking with 2 is the Vanguard becomes easily blockable by the 4/4. We needed to put a counter here to make it not blockable by Mechagodzilla here.
Courage will bloom in all who seek justice.
And then Ardenvale adds another, and we're probably just good to swing away next turn. hexproof. All right. Not lifelink, though. That's the one I really don't want to see. So that we can close this out. Oh, almost forgot, but I remembered. Gave Jinx a little heart attack. All right, so now we're going to put +2 on a couple of the tokens and just swing away.
You are braver than you know.
I don't know if we have the graveyard yet, but we're going to find out. Yeah, we don't quite have the graveyard. But we have the match, or the game, game 1. Again, not many options for us, but mono red aggro, they're going to be on the play. We should really try to get low down. Maybe we bring in a blast zone against this deck. For a plains, hurts our mana a little bit, but seems like this is the matchup where we would not mind having this at our disposal. But I think that's about all we can do unless we wanted to bring in start to add to our ability to create dudes on turn, earlier. I'm gonna try this. Just a simple blast zone swap in. Could be a Gruul Splash, could be somebody who decided that cycle 2 on an ETB tapped mountain was fine. Not a perfect beginning, but Lyra against heavy red or mono red and the near lands to get there feels too good. So I'm going to keep this because we got key. Maybe it's too slow, though. Am I being greedy? Is this correct? I mean, basically, if we keep this, we need to find some other stuff. I don't think we're going to live going... Let's say we draw nothing but lands. If we go key on 2, Felidar Retreat on 4, Dawnbringer on 5, that might be too late. But if we draw any action, Lyra is just the perfect top end for this, right? Yeah, exactly, Fool. That's why I'm so torn. I'm gonna keep it because Lyra is so devastating to that deck, but we do need a little help here. We're also on the draw, so we get more draws. And that's true, the key also filters. So if we're desperate on 3, we can activate the key. Yeah, if we're just gonna draw more land, we can like use the key on 2. If we don't come up with a turn 3 play, okay, now we got that. Great. Great. Thank you, deck. Just what I was hoping for. Something to live. Oppa with a nice curve out here. Let's see what they get. Vigilance. We could just trade for the Rimrock. I kind of like that. We're not I don't like if we drop a land and attack for 2. What are we doing? We're gonna be at 9. Yeah, we got to take this trade. So this is pretty easy. Skewer, great. We're gonna. So it all worked out for us. We found the extras we needed. I'm gonna go Mikaeus on 3 here over Felidar. Well, let's see. If we want to do Lyra on 5, maybe I go Felidar here. But it's Mikaeus or Felidar is the question. Looks like chat has some differing opinions there. So I like that when that happens. When I'm like struggling with a decision and I see multiple people suggesting different things, I'm at least, oh, okay, at least I'm this is a legit tough decision. Felidar is 0 value now, but of course it sets up a lot of stuff coming up. I'm going to go with my gut, which was Mikaeus. We might even wait a turn on Lyra, you know? We could go Felidar next turn. I don't know. Well, that's the thing, Fenrir. It's not just one if we go into Lyra. And now we are going to go into Lyra. Hope you got 5 damage. Okay, if they don't have 5 damage, it's probably bad for them. We can expertise into the key and still play a savior, kind of dump our hand here. We can even start with the savior, make sure that lands. There are some 5 damage red spells in the cube, yeah. Yeah, Soul Seer makes sense. Yeah, we saw that this week sometime. And so now I think we go expertise, key, and then if we draw a land, we go Felidar land, and we just wreck face. A protected Lyra against red is pretty good, although they've shown now a black... Again, this could just be willingness to play a 2-mana cycle land. I would. I'm playing Canyon Slough... is it Slew? Slew? In my mono red decks every time. Slough? Fantasia says rhymes with slough. Warfurnace says rhymes with plow. Slough. I didn't need to do that. I could have put it here, but it really doesn't matter. Technically correct is making a servo indestructible to prevent some damage here if they attack, but it doesn't, it's like whatever. Do we care? But yeah, we're gonna leave it all, take it all. They can't. Yeah, you can call it a punt. I mean, again, it depends on what your definition of punt is. To me, it is, because I made a definitive mistake. Like, it is undeniable, unequivocal that it was not the correct play. It was minor. A lot of people are like, well, it doesn't count unless it's major. That's where chat decides what the definition is. My personal definition is it incontrovertible that I made an error? And the answer is yes. Doesn't matter how big the error was. It's incontrovertible that was an error. It's not one that's going to matter. But that's not the point of tracking that stuff, right? Yeah, the vigilance is like, oh yeah, right. Felidar Retreat also gives all my creatures vigilance, so they get to swing away and still defend. It's pretty absurd. So slew is what we're looking for there. In American English, at least. Yes. And I will say that my feeling of confidence that I was not really beatable by a red deck with what we had going on was why I got loose with my decisions, too. Oh, English is ridiculous. Thank you for the sub. This is a little sketchy. Oppo's going first, though. We got the draw, so we're going to get cards. We do have an animation module, something to do on 1. But we're not really doing anything with it until 4 here. And then if we do on 4, you know... Doesn't do nothing... well, yes, it literally does nothing without help. But of course you're going to draw cards. But I think it is a mulligan. Let's look for better. Yeah, this is better. I'm going to keep this, and... Animation Luminarch is too good to bust up. I think we ditch the Heroic or the Key. What do you think? Heroic or Key? Can't cast this yet. Yeah, especially if we do the Animation Luminarch thing, the Heroic gets even better. So I'm sold. We'll get rid of the Key. Hello, Courier. New plan. Cruel Celebrant is good. We're going to drop an Aspirant, increase our Bomat's size, and still get in. English is just a mess. My favorite language is Spanish because it's so clean and beautiful and learnable. Like, the rules matter. Spanish has rules and it works. Courier can be cracked at instant speed. I feel no need to crack Courier until our hand is empty. Remember, it dumped... I don't know if you... Let's make sure we've read the Courier. If we crack the Courier, we're throwing away Heroic Reinforcements and Felidar Retreat. Yeah. Right now, these 3 cards are better than what's under here, almost certainly. Unless there's like a... I don't know. Oh, that's scary. Big scary stuff from Oppo here. What are we going to find? SRAM is hilariously ineffective here with a couple of other 4-drops. I think we go Felidar Retreat now, and then next turn if we draw a land, we get to go Heroic Enforcements, land, attack. Woo! And basically, it's likely that we either draw a land for the retreat or a spell that expert... Oh, no! Oppo's deck looks pretty good against us. Got good tools. And we are very low on interaction, as we've noted. Land is what I really want here. Even though we lost our Felidar Retreat, what it lets us do is get closer to cracking Bomat Courier for good value. These do similar things, and we do have an attack here, so I guess we go... I think I like Heroic here. Although SRAM keeps up the mountain so that we can crack this if we feel we need to, right? Yeah, let's do it that way. Also, it means we could have an incredible attack next turn. Also, let's see. Okay, so we can make this a 3-3 and survive the block, so we can attack first here, too. Huh, they're going for that. We're going to take out the... Well, let's see. They're probably doing this because they've got the Shepherd. So, we're going to have to kill all of these twice, but I think we want Priest dead first. Well, it was never great for us, but we can't let it go... Well, they're tapped out, but the thing is, the Shepherd's going to bring this back. But this is the path we have to start down. And getting a servo is nice because it gives us sack fodder for the priest. And we do have our Bo3 Courier mana up, ready to swap these 2 for these 4 if needed. I know it doesn't do this every time, but for anybody doubting the value of the Courier in aggro, I mean, I hope you can see what it's doing here and why it's such an important and good card. It's a question whether we would even want to. Hopefully we are not put to the test. We are dwindling on life. Wouldn't mind a Lyra. Luminarch, interesting. So it's whenever one you control, so we can Luminarch for 3 and get an extra servo, which I think is correct. Yeah, it's not a it's a non-bow with SRAM, but I think we want to go Luminarch now because if it lives and we live somehow, we're only at 8 and we're staring at a flyer. We can't really stop right now, so we're actually also quite close to death. Does anything we have give us life in any way? Not really. So, I think we have to do that. It also puts our Bo3 Courier at some risk because we're going to tap out. That's a good question. Are we attacking? If we're attacking and they block, we can attack and threaten and put the counter on if needed. I suppose we could. Yeah, let's attack. You can even do X equals 2. That's a reasonable point, Rob. We don't need to max out Luminarch. It's really, we just want to be able to tap it and put counters on everything if it untaps. If they block here, though, with both, if they double block, it's not what we want, but I'm going to threaten it. Okay, they're doing that. That's fine. Now they're going to do this. Celebrant is making this tough, too. This is all just very tough. We can also, if needed, make an extra servo. Are we just lethal? I don't know. Maybe so. Well, we could draw Lyra, right? Then they can't really attack into her. Oh, sorry. I was thinking it was their turn. I got distracted. No, we're pretty dead, huh? So yeah, just dead. Oh yeah, let's at least sack Bomat Courier and see if we get an answer there, right? But we don't really have the mana to play an answer. Like I don't know what we draw here that would, I guess, land and Lyra is an out. But it's not really, because they have sack to make us sack. Like we need way too many things, I think. Yeah, looks done for. Yeah, even Lyra wasn't an out, so that's the way that went. Black-white nightmare control. It's a very good deck against us because we're so low on interaction. Oppo has some fragile combos. Shepherd, Forgotten Gods, but we just don't have the removal to punish Oppo for fragile combos. So it's a good deck against us. And man, if I get people telling me shoulda, coulda, woulda about Cube, I'll start throwing around the timeouts there, Fenor. Come on. Come on. At least give me a wink. Cube, you can go anywhere. You can do it like, of course you could have had. You can, I mean, every Cube draft is 27 things you could have had. Whereas a normal draft is like 5 other things you could have had. As it is, Archon, I don't know. Oh, you can be jerks all you want. Just give me a wink. Just give me a wink, and then I can handle all the jerkiness, and I don't get defensive or anything. Or I get defensive, but I wink back. I'm gonna run it back. Well, what cheap stuff? I mean, that's the thing, Poseidon. The deck does not have a lot to even bring in. This is rough because, like, any other, cut something for a land and we keep it, but instead we have to mulligan. All right, keeping this for sure and figuring out which of our spells has got to go. Obviously we need Legion's Landing and Adanto. So the question is, animation module, God's Willing, or Nemesis. I think we take the animation module out. I think it's doing the least here. Nothing here is inherently gaining counters. Nothing here is inherently even getting anything that we can double. So even though we could cast this on 1, I'm going to cut it. That counts, sure. Classic Ixalan era starting curve out. Don't kill it! Just read it. You can read it. Don't kill it. Okay. I want some land, but a fledgling is a third creature that could flip the landing and give us some land. As it is, I'm going to send the Vanguard and not the Vampire. Willing to trade 4 life to kill 1 copy of the Sacred Cat, but not to save, or like, well, if he God's willing, maybe I just don't attack at all. Yeah, if I attack with this, I have to be ready to use God's willing, and I don't want to. If I attack with this, I just have to be ready to use 4 life, so I will. It does not count for landfall. This is already on the battlefield. Strong. All right. I think ideal turn next turn is land to trigger the fledgling, and then we attack with all 3 with God's willing up, and then our Legion's Landing flips, giving us 4 land to give us Felidar or Elspeth the turn after. Yeah, but I didn't want to do that. That didn't seem like a good enough use of God's willing. And our mana, especially. Cry is in the cube, yes. Ah, darn it. Stuck on land. If we just found a land, I'll go that we found a fledgling instead, so we wouldn't have it all, but unfortunate. Bomat does let us flip the landing, which we got to do here. We're going to have to God's willing to save one of our creatures if we want, but we're going to start with an attack to flip this land. We just have to. Nah, somebody asked that already. It doesn't do that. And we should, God's willing here, find us another land and also save our fledgling that could become a big creature from here. Glory Bound, not what we're looking for right now. That thing, well, we didn't beat it the first time. I'm uncomfortable with our chances of beating it a second time, given our real lack of any interaction. This is just a card that we can't particularly beat. It's a problem with the deck, which is why we didn't love it, frankly. Yeah, we got 2 wins already. I could have run the profit meme, and I'm feeling fine. You know, somebody mentioned yesterday that I was a little extra salty on Tuesday, and I was talking about how I've been, it's been a tough week, you know, a very busy, stressful week with a lot of stuff bearing down on me, and I think that was affecting my attitude, especially on Tuesday. But I also realized that I got to be honest with you, gang. Yesterday, like, I started out 4-0, and then I lost 3 in a row. But I took it all gracefully. I was playing against friends around here, and but it's somewhat of a lie. I have not been very mature and grown up about my losses when I'm not on air, and especially I've been finding myself really knocking Oppo, like blaming it on Oppo, like that opponent, you know, cursing about their crappy deck, and it's all just bad juju. You know, I gotta stop it, is what I'm saying. Like I need to start making my offline tolerance for losing be somewhat similar to how I comport myself online, you know, while streaming. But let's get back to this game. What are we doing here? How do we win? Is there any way to get through the shepherd? Like, if we get the fledgling big enough, it can start. I guess we go retreat and see if we can get a land next turn and go Elspeth, create a bunch of tokens, and then retreat them up, right? Oh, I could have gone Elspeth tokens, retreat, land. So I maybe that was wrong too. I'm just a mess. No attacks though. Yeah, exactly. But it's the expectations. I also talked yesterday about setting expectations, and I need to recalibrate my expectations when playing offline against randos, because I'm letting my personal expectations and my personal feeling that I'm so good at this game, I should win this much, and anybody who ever beats me who's not like a pro has just gotten lucky, and I should be really snotty about them. You know, like, even though nobody's hearing it, like, even if the house is empty and the only person hearing it is the dog, it's not helping my brain. It's not helping my mental approach to this game. So I really need to tighten up how I'm even thinking about the way I'm experiencing this game when I'm off air. Let's see. In terms of this situation, 16, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Again, well, Lyra doesn't save us because we don't have the 5 land. I think we're just going to lose this, and I'm not too worried about it. But we maybe have to trade for the apparition. The trouble is they just get another apparition, and then they can axe the only thing. Swing games, yeah, we can just chump instead and not kill it. Trading doesn't help us. That's true, Fenor, but... Does the red intervention exile? If the red intervention exiles, then maybe we have a chance here.
Neither monsters nor gods will stand.
Do I need to gain 5 life? I don't think so.
If you are going to fight, fight beside me.
Yeah, I screwed up my sequencing. If I had done it right, we'd have 4... well, not necessarily, because Elspeth would be dead, right? So actually, I don't think it mattered unless we were hoping to divert attacks over to Elspeth. Well, yeah, I guess Fledgling ain't blocking, but we may need to block on the ground, although we have ground blockers. The thing is, this ground blocks the apparition. Oh, vigilance. Yeah, never mind. Apologies. Yeah, we should swing courier as well and crack it if they block. Thank you. We were talking about how retreat has the sneaky vigilance that's like, oh yeah, it's even more powerful. And I forgot between games somehow because I'm old. Still not looking great here, gang. Not expecting to pull out a 3-0. This deck's got our number with that Nightmare Shepherd. I didn't look up Purpuros's intervention. I can't remember if it exiles or not, but I mean, getting the Shepherd dead at all would be great, but I'd especially like to exile it. still worth just anything that can kill it would be welcome here. This says non-token permanent with converted mana cost 4 or less. Trouble is that we'll take our retreat or our Elspeth. If we block and kill the Skyclave, we lose our Elspeth or our retreat. I don't think we can win the game if we do that, but we can block tokens, and that's okay. So let's do that. Is there any onboard tricks I'm missing? Savior, but trading for Savior's fine too. Yeah, have you read Our Friend the Nightmare Shepherd? That's why we can't beat this. They've got all this awesome ETB stuff that when doubled up with Shepherd just makes it an unwinnable situation. All right. Finally saw something that True didn't. Oh, sure. Give me the multitasking excuse. Mentor's interesting, but too late. I like our deck okay. It's just it just lacks the interaction to be able to handle a deck like this, so we're gonna lose. But we'll do. Let's see. We go Mentor, Land, Luminarch, draw. Do we need extra ground defense to have any chance here? I mean, I'm just spinning wheels. We're just dead. I mean, we're just dead. But I'll spin wheels this way. Yep, dead on board, but just showing the sequencing. And that's how you sequence your turn before you lose. Powerful stuff in the deck, lack of removal. Like, basically, that deck would have been a lot better if we'd been one color and had some interaction. Well, but Jim, I mean, you go down a path and then you're somewhat at the mercy of what the packs offer you. It's not, I don't feel like we went pick after pick after pick. Jim says maybe take this time to consider what matters in an aggro deck. Just seeing the colors open doesn't mean you have the right cards, but you also can't choose what cards you're going to get in the packs to come. You know, that's the nature of draft. You take your chance, you find a lane, you stake your claim in a lane, and then you hope the packs reward you. And in this case, the packs definitely did not reward us. We missed out on a lot of the super important stuff for successful aggro and got pulled into the two-color situation with it, which I really don't like. And there were just some key cards in both mono white aggro and mono red aggro that we didn't see or have a chance at. Yeah, we went 2-1. And so yeah, deck was fine, but fine's, you know, fine is fine, right? I'm not saying it's a bad deck. I'm saying we didn't love it, and I'm saying we saw like it using that job mentality, right? Like, what jobs did we not have filled? And well, it was interaction. We had skewer, we had intervention, and then anything else, like anything. Yeah, nothing else interacts. So that is just a known weakness of the deck. It doesn't mean the deck is bad, but it does mean we can say, oh, this deck would be better if we had picked up an Oblivion Ring effect, right? That's all. And as far as like mean, Jim wants to get introspective here, and I always try to get introspective and see what I could do differently. I don't know if Cube is just so hard. Like the people who wanted to be in black, am I supposed to take away the lesson that I was supposed to figure out that we were, quote, supposed to be in black? I don't even necessarily think that's provable that that's where that was our clear lane. It's just hard to see clear lanes in Cube in general. And I think the deck, I think our decisions were reasonable throughout. I bet we could go through and rewatch the draft and find some places where there's some questionable picks or close picks, but I think we had justifiable picks throughout. So this deck was all right. And you know what? Close enough to profit that we're going to play the meme. Look, 3 cards of profit. Let's hop back to Soapbox, say a quick thank you and farewell to our YouTube friends. Thanks for hanging out. Appreciate that. Remember to give me a like there before you saunter off to another video. And check out my sponsors, cardkingdom.com and Spumoni Works. Remember the discount code at Spumoni Works. Go shopping, get you 15% and gets me some design time from Oni. So that'd be sweet if you wanted to go shopping at Spumoni Works. And thanks, YouTube. We'll catch you next time.